Hey guys, it's John, and welcome to part 4 of my new Wonder Woman room. What you're looking at right now are a few of my lunch boxes that have been made from recent years with Wonder Woman. It's always good to take Wonder Woman to lunch with you. Next up, we're starting the drinkware section of my room. Wanted to show you these martini glasses I had made. These were custom made. See, not all the cool things can be found in a store. Major tip of the hat to anybody who's creative enough to make things on their own. And here we go. I love cups, mugs, tritons, water bottles, you name it. I'm down for all of it. Like many things, hard to display cups. I went with this method of I tried to do them by height and tried to fit as many on a shelf as I could. Try to position them in a way that you can at least see her face through the cracks of the cup that's in front of her. To date, I have 306 Wonder Woman drinkware items, and they're one of my all-time favorite things to collect. In putting the drinkware section together, I explored a lot of options. The first thing I looked into was something like, imagine a small coat rack with multiple arms going out of it. That was a cool idea, but it took up too much space. And plus, I have so many drinkware items that don't have a handle. What do you do with those? I also saw a guy online who hung all of his mugs from the ceiling. It looked cool, but again, I'm left with that. What do I do with, like right now you're looking at shot glasses. Well, where do they go? For right now, I think this is just going to have to do. Drinkware items are also one of the items I have to say that appear the most often throughout the year, especially in recent years. Somebody's always putting out a cup or a mug or a set of glasses. There seem to be an endless supply. And even though they reuse the same images over and over again, they're just irresistible. That one in the box you're seeing right there, it's a morphing mug. You pour liquid into the mug, and then at first it's black, and then it slowly starts to display an image. Just genius. It's such a fun way to take a simple item and turn it into something new and fun. I had to find a spot for the Through the Ages poster that George Perez did several years ago. It's just a fantastic poster. And it leads me into my next section of my room. Party stuff. What you're looking at now is wrapping paper. All of our presents as kids were wrapped in superhero wrapping or super friend wrapping paper. I was in an auction a few years ago for a lot of them. And what I've been doing is I kept one roll and I had my Christmas gifts wrapped in it. It just brought back a flood of memories to see things wrapped in that paper that was so cool to see when I was little. And plus, I'm putting the gift wrap in these trash cans that you see. Wonder Woman ribbons seem to have been made back in the day in two colors, in red and in yellow. In my very first video, I have 2 large rolls of it that I got on eBay. And I love party supplies. It's all just irresistible. All the coordinating pieces, the cups, the napkins, the 2 different sizes of plates, invitations, centerpieces, tablecloths, you name it, I'm in. The set from 1977 that I have right there in the center, that's my favorite set. I had that for several parties as a kid. She had 2 from back in the day. There was one in 1977, and then there was one in 1982 with the new costume change. She's also part of all of the Super Friends superhero, superpowers lines that were done in the 80s. And in more recent years, they did a Justice League Girls line. Of course, it's all pink and purple, you know. And most recently, they have the DC Superhero Girls line of party supplies. The next section that you're looking at right here doesn't necessarily have a theme. This was originally, I purchased this to put all of my clothing items in. It was going to be clothing and bags. It ended up really not working out. There's just no way to display clothing and make it look presentable. So what I did, I started to put stuffed animals in here, and I got these. This is an IKEA bookshelf, and they have these boxes that you can sit inside the shelf. And what I did was I picked one of my favorite t-shirts, and I wrapped the box in there, and all of the clothing items that I have for Wonder Woman are sitting inside the box. I couldn't be bothered with it after a while. Here's some great items from Brazil, all coordinating all of that same image of Wonder Woman. In a few of these cubes, I tried to maintain some kind of theme. But for the most part, it's just all the stuff that just didn't have a home. I wanted to show you this swimsuit from a few years ago. It was available in Hot Topic. I couldn't buy this quick enough. It featured Wonder Woman and the cheetah on it. That had to be front and center somewhere. Here's a few of my book bags. I stood them all up in a way that you can at least enjoy the front of the book bag, and I stuffed them all with tissue just to make them stand. The rest of my bags I have in a separate spot in the room that I'll show you later. Here's something fun. Again, kind of homemade. This is a generic fan from Walmart. Somebody took vintage wallpaper. They cut out each of the superheroes and put them on the blades. I contacted them years ago and I asked them if they would make me an all Wonder Woman version, and they did. Here are keychains. I would say 99% of these all come from Six Flags. I talked about Six Flags in one of my other videos. That is the place to go for DC merchandise. They've got it all. Every style, every color, everything imaginable. Some of them light up, some of them blink. It's just all kinds of different things. Next up, I wanted to show you this cool Underoos advertisement. Underoos are fun to wear. And below that is this really fun advertising poster from 1981-82. This was advertising Wonder Woman's costume change from what had previously been the eagle on her chest to the stacked W that we're all familiar with now. And below that, these are all the posters I didn't have room for, and they all sit nicely in a trash can. I love that hanging light made by Westland Giftware. And the Funko Invisible Jet, I had to get one loose so that I could put her on display. That one was one that was too pretty to sit in a box. Here are some more odds and ends. Some magnets, cookie jars, there's a sleep mask, a wacky wobbler, there's a lamp, and a clock. This section of the shelf is devoted primarily to jewelry items, watches, rings, bracelets, necklaces, you name it. The fun part about having themes is keeping it all together. The not so fun part is what you're seeing right now is when I'm out of room, because I guarantee the next watch or something that I get, it's not going to fit in here. So then we have to take over another shelf. This is the struggle of collecting, people. Next up, we're about to enter my Wonder Woman statues. My relationship with statues goes as follows. The promotional image is released, everybody goes crazy and loves it, and I sit there with stank face and hate it. And then, when I see it in someone's house, up close and in person, I totally fall in love with it. And then I have to have it, by then it's not available in stores, and then I pay triple the price. I never learn, ever. I love this Golden Age statue of her breaking the chains. That's one of my favorite statues of all time. They even made a Hello Kitty statue. Have some New 52. That's a really beautiful statue. They really did a very good job on that one. These as well. Fun fact about my Wonder Woman statues, these are probably the only thing that I actually buy one of and actually take out of the box. Otherwise, they would just take up far too much room. I love that Terry Dodson. It's kind of a paperweight, but I've got it here with my statues. And no statue collection would be complete without one from the Super Friends. Just awesome. This one on the next shelf is from the old WB store. Back in the 90s, do you remember that? And this lonely little shelf here, these are for my Gal Gadot statues. Some have yet to see the light of day. We're still waiting for them. These two here are the only two Art of War statues that I bought. I just couldn't stand the others. They're a little too out there for me. This one is adventurous for me, but I bought it, and I'm happy with it. Next up, I want to show you what I did with the rest of my bags. I ended up buying a traditional coat hanger, and I literally just stacked them on top. It seemed to be the easiest way to display them. The last thing I wanted to share with you in this video, issue number 275 of the comic book was the very first issue I ever purchased. And I contacted Jose Delbo. He was the Wonder Woman artist at the time, and I commissioned him to draw this piece for me of Wonder Woman versus the Cheetah, and I love it.